Jahmyr Gibbs is next RB up for extension. What that means for him and the Lions. ALLEN Park Mich. Minutes before Detroit Lions, coach Dan Campbell took the mic this morning, the news spread around the media room at the Detroit Lions practice facility faster than, well, Jahmyr Gibbs. The news, of course, was that Falcons running back Bijan Robinson signed his long-awaited contract extension. With a new 3-year deal worth up to $75 million and $51 million guaranteed, Robinson reset the running back market. Advertisement, and with that, Gibbs and the Lions have the number to beat, and perhaps a light at the end of the tunnel.
Wet boots ruining your mornings? This silent, fanless dryer gently dries boots, shoes, and gloves overnight while helping reduce damp odors, so your gear is ready when you are. Want to get the best verified deal and see full details? Visit grabdeal.us/4 right now.
I think it's certainly not going to hurt, Campbell said Tuesday, when asked if Robinson's deal could potentially speed up talks with Gibbs. It's not going to hurt, but we'll see. When training camp began, it quickly became clear that both Robinson and Gibbs would be holdens in search of extensions. The two backs were selected just 4 picks apart in the 2023 NFL Draft, Robinson 8th overall and Gibbs 12th. They are the driving force behind their respective offenses and at the forefront of the discussion for best RB in the league. For the first week of camp, it felt like these two were at a standstill, waiting for the other to sign first. Whoever goes second wins, an NFC executive told The Athletic's Jonathan Jones regarding the Robinson-Gibbs extension talks. Now that Robinson has, all eyes are on Gibbs and the Lions. A Brinks truck backing up into 222 Republic Drive. What this means for Gibbs was all smiles at training camp Tuesday morning, hanging out in team apparel with the running backs. It was the 3rd consecutive practice Gibbs attended as a spectator, perhaps a sign that a resolution is coming sooner than later. If you're Gibbs, the Robinson contract is great news. At an average annual value of $22.25 million, Robinson's deal surpasses Saquon Barkley's previous record-setting AAV of $20.6 million. In terms of guaranteed money for a running back, Robinson's deal places him second in NFL history at $51 million, trailing only Jeremiah Love's $53.02 million as part of his rookie contract. The man got paid, and Gibbs is up next. Sources told Jones there's optimism a deal is reached within the coming days. If and when the two sides reach an agreement, it'll be fascinating to see the final numbers. Gibbs has 2 years left on his rookie contract after the Lions picked up his 5th-year option in April. Per over the cap, Gibbs' base salary is set to jump from $1.145 million in 2026 to $14.29 million in 2027. They have plenty of time, but the Lions have a history of extending their homegrown talent the year they become extension eligible. It's how they generally prefer to do business. The longer you wait, the more expensive the bill. Advertisement, as for what Gibbs might be seeking, there are different ways to approach this. He can aim for a higher AAV than Robinson, $22.25, perhaps checking in at $22.5 million to $23 million per season. He could sign an extension that surpasses the total value of Robinson's deal, $75 million. Or he can opt for more guaranteed money while taking a backseat in AAV. When the Lions were in extension talks with star edge rusher Aiden Hutchinson last fall, they knew the number to beat was Micah Parsons' 4-year, $186 million deal, $46.5 million AAV. Hutchinson ultimately signed below that, agreeing to a 4-year, $180 million extension, $45 million AAV, last October. However, Hutchinson earned the most guaranteed money by a non-QB in NFL history at $141 million, eclipsing Parsons' $136 million guaranteed. We'll find out soon enough what Gibbs prefers. What this means for the Lions have done well to lock up their core players in an effort to keep their stars from the open market. In recent years, they've dished out extensions to Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Penei Sewell, Alan McNeil, Kirby Joseph, Derek Barnes, Jameson Williams, Hutchinson, and Jack Campbell, among others. Given the way the Lions talk about him, there's no reason to think Gibbs won't join this group. He can run all schemes, Campbell said of Gibbs at the NFL owners' meeting in March. He can run inside, outside, pin and pull, the perimeters. He can be lethal out of the backfield, and we're not even there yet. We feel like this guy can play some receiver. I think we're just scratching the surface of some of that. He's dynamic, and he's a difference maker. They don't come around often. If there's a player who can afford to miss practice time right now, it's Gibbs. In addition to seeking a new contract, he's dealing with a minor back issue. While Campbell downplayed the severity, it's an added factor in these discussions. There's no reason to push him just 1 week into training camp, and if you're Gibbs, the last thing you want is an injury right before potentially signing a life-changing extension. Advertisement, if this is the approach Gibbs is taking, it makes sense. He doesn't have much to prove at this stage. He's a 3-time Pro Bowler 3 years into his career and a dynamic talent with great vision, speed, and acceleration. All he needs is a slight crease to go the distance. Despite running behind an old and injured offensive line in 2026, Gibbs was still one of the most explosive backs in the league last year, tied for third in the NFL in runs of 20 or more yards with 17. With David Montgomery now in Houston, Gibbs will handle workhorse responsibilities for the first time in his career. The Lions believe he's ready for it as he enters his 4th season. That said, they'd still prefer to get eyes on him during camp one of these days. The team has a new offensive coordinator in Drew Petzing and a revamped offensive line featuring several new faces. Offensive linemen need reps with their running back to learn tendencies, and Petzing is going to need his entire offense on the field together to tailor the running game to his offensive line's strengths. It's been on Campbell's mind recently. "Look, I'm anxious to get Gibbs back out there," Campbell said Tuesday. "Every day that goes by, that's another day that you feel like you miss with him and getting him out there with the guys and him doing his part. But there again, man, it'll get done when it gets done." In a perfect world, Gibbs and the Lions get a deal done this week, and Campbell can rest easy knowing his star talent is here, and here to stay. Jonathan Jones contributed to this report.